What's up, everybody? Welcome to Friday Night Movie Night. I'm your host, Darth Andrea, with the ever so wonderful Darth Russo, aka Mike.
Too sweet.
Tonight, John is off camera, so if you guys want to interact with John, just say hey. I'm sure he'll turn his mic on and talk. But tonight, we are diving into the ever so wonderful Rouge One, a Star Wars story. We'll take a minute to let you guys roll in, and we'll get this conversation popping.
Yes, it is good to be back. So I've been gone for a while. Show my Master Chief. All right, good.
He's got Master Chief. I've got the Star Wars.
The shirt is awesome. The shirt is awesome.
They just got him in stock. I was so excited. I'm like, I ran to Five Below, and I'm like,
wait, who had him?
Five Below. Do you got one down there?
Yeah, but I got fat sizes. A fat size. You don't have a fat size.
I can go back and see. They just got him yesterday.
But you got but you're a tiny person. I'm heavy.
I'm not that tiny.
It's like, I don't know. Yes, you are.
Yeah, John knows nothing about Star Wars, but that will change one day in the future. John's got plans to see them all. And I apologize for the background noise. I told the kids that they can make a video. They want to be YouTubers when they grow up. So Eli got a camera for Christmas, and he just loves making videos and all that. So again, background noise. Sorry, friends.
No, that's great. What's up, Lala?
Okay, so looks like we got 5 viewers so far. So why don't we just dive right in, Mike?
Ken, John, everybody's here. Right, nice. May the force be with you. Thanks, Nick. That's cool. Bang! I got it up there for you, Nick. Okay, all Lalo cares about is you, Andrea. So.
It's all right. We'll take it.
I'll take anything. Exactly right.
All right. So first thing I wanted to talk about tonight, we mentioned briefly off camera. I rewatched it last night, so it's very fresh on my mind. But I remember.
Hi, Curtis.
Curtis, thanks for joining in. Grand Tarkin, or Grand Moff Tarkin.
Grand Moff.
When you see him, you just notice something's off. And I didn't think anything of it. I just thought maybe it was just makeup. And my husband's like, no, he's got to be CGI. So I looked it up, and it turns out he was, in fact, CGI. And the reason being was the original actor who played him passed away in 1994. And I thought that was really interesting that, I mean, it's 2020, came out in 2021. 2020 is when Rogue One came out. That was my mistake. But
no, wait a minute. Well, 2020?
That's what I said, is in 2020.
Or no, the pandemic was going on. It's before the pandemic.
Oh, hold on. Because you're right. When did it come out? Sorry, guys. 2016. So why is that one site saying it came out in 2020? It came out in 2016.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a while.
That has, because I remember seeing this in theaters.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters 3 times, and I've watched it repeatedly times on social media. I mean, on my own.
I love that it's on Disney Plus, and we can just watch it whenever. But yeah, so the original actor passed away in 94, so it's been a hot minute. And I thought that was really respectful that they wanted to keep the character looking exactly like they looked. Rather than try to cast somebody in similar features and whatever. So I thought that was really interesting. And I still don't understand why people were upset about that. There was a lot of controversy around the CGI. But, I don't see why. I thought it was well done.
So did I. I thought that and Carrie Fisher's were done very tastefully.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So Lalo, John's got plans to actually watch Star Wars, so he says.
Yeah, John, seriously. You got to watch them, buddy. Should you watch them in order, or should you watch them by release?
In order.
Agreed.
In order. All right, so.
There we go. John's message to everybody.
Why don't we just dive in, Mike, and let's talk about favorite characters.
Ooh, one of my favorite. See, I have so many favorite characters from this movie. It's horrible. But if I had to pick one, I'm a big lover of Donnie Yen. Yeah, Donnie. Tell that right now. Donnie Yen. Is that Donnie?
Yes.
As Sharut.
Yes, the
Did
blind.
I say his name? Sharut.
Sharut. Mm-hmm.
I loved him in the movie. Loved him.
Oh my gosh, so great. Like you couldn't have cast that role more perfect.
I think it's Donnie Yen. I think I got it right.
Yes.
He's the guy with Ip Man 1, 2, and 3 guys. Ip Man 4,
Mhm.
actually 1 through 4. He's he's famous in Japan, big time. So yeah, he does a lot of projects.
My favorites. I really liked Saw Gerrera. I really liked his character. The actor I thought was phenomenal.
He should have been in the movie a little bit more than I thought.
I agree with that, especially like as you get more into the movie, you learn that he had a bigger role in Jin Erso's life. So the fact that he's only in the movie for maybe 5 minutes, it was kind of disappointing.
I wish there was more to when he pulled her up. I wish there had been a little more backstory, like right there, and then a little bit further before she goes rogue and gets arrested and all that.
Right.
That's where I would have liked to see it, but I don't know how you feel about that.
And I think my all-time favorite character, and I wouldn't even say really as a character, was K2SO.
I knew.
Oh my gosh! Like we just know we like you know me so well. Oh my gosh, I love that droid so much, and like it takes me back to Hitchhiker's Guide. With like the manic depressive robot, but instead of a manic depressive robot, you got a robot who freely speaks his mind, and it just, I loved it.
Yes, they picked the best actor to voice him.
Alan Tudyk. Oh yes, 100%.
Awesome. Serenity. I watched Serenity. I love him. I love that guy. So he was awesome. You see Serenity? Have you ever watched any of that? Like that movie Serenity?
It's on my like to watch though.
He's good in there. He's great. He's also great in Dodgeball. He's funny as hell in Dodgeball.
I love Dodgeball.
Alan Tudyk. Yeah, he's awesome.
Well, that's one that we'll have to do on a movie night.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I like Sharut, and I also like the on and off interactions with him and Bassett. I cannot pronounce any of these characters' names today.
No, they're
the guy that had the heavy gun.
Yeah,
I forget what his name is. Is it no?
Baze?
I know it starts with a B, I believe, but I can never pronounce it. Anyways, I like the dynamic between those two. Sorry, I can't get the name on the other one.
They were so good together. Like, I know that they probably weren't like brothers in like in the story, but I felt like they could have been brothers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just the bond that they had.
I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. You remember the line?
Yes, I do. The whole they're in the ship saying that, and then he's in the cell saying that.
One of his best lines is when they put the hood over him. He goes, "What the hell? I'm blind.
I'm already blind." It's like, yeah.
It's so like good. It's so funny. Done again for the win.
Character or characters that you weren't.
I'm evil, guys. By the way.
That you weren't too fond of, because I wouldn't say that you didn't like, because I don't think there was a character in the whole thing that I said, oh my god, I don't like them. But like, I mean, there were a couple where I'm like, okay, like not my favorite, but you know, like I didn't dislike anybody.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of all. I had to pull up the list just to make sure. I mean, I know that, but I don't want to keep saying that. What the hell? Oh my god, computer. Because I don't want to just be like, well, I'm talking about blah, 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 blah. And you know what I mean? I'm sorry, guys. I just want to pull up something else. That's all.
I didn't like, and I just saw his face, the actor who played General Draven. And the only reason I didn't like them because I didn't vibe with him. I don't know if it was just like a miscast type thing, like it wasn't just his role, but I wasn't too like fond of his performance.
Which one? Who again? I'm sorry.
General Draven.
General.
He's in the Rebel Alliance, and he's like one of the main guys that
You mean General? Did you say General Dodonna?
Draven or Draven.
Oh, that's not the right one. That's Ian McCollum. I'm trying to find. That's General. Is he a general or an admiral? Admiral.
According to the Wikia, he's a general.
What the heck? There's nobody really, guys. You're not gonna give me anything here.
Felicity.
Why is he not here? Young Jen. I could care about that shit. Wait. Is that him there? Admiral Goran, you mean?
Yeah, him.
Michael Gould. I'm trying to think when he was in the movie though. Why can I not think?
I think you see him like briefly when Jen's proposing, like, now's not the time to be scared. Like, we've got to go fight.
Oh, okay. Now I know who you're talking about. By the way, it's Baze Malbus is the guy that was with Shrewd. Just so you guys know, it's Baze Malbus that was with.
See, I just watched it yesterday, but like, I don't remember.
I'm just looking at it. I like Ben Mendelsohn as Krennic. He was awesome. They did have an actor for Tarkin though, Guy Henry. I wonder if they had to use like him and then you put the thing around him or whatever.
Felicity Davis was, well, it was Felicity Jones who played Jen Urso. If that's the same Felicity.
Felicity Jones plays Jen Urso.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm trying. Wait, okay. I said there's an actor for Governor Tarkin. I didn't know they needed that for CGI. Did you?
Yeah. Just one more time.
Guy Henry is an actor that played Governor Tarkin. So what did they do to CGI around this actor?
Yeah, that's what I was looking up. Because I'm like,
okay.
So I'm almost wondering if he just like voiced him and then CGI'd the character so he looked like him, Alistair Petrie. I was not a fan of his role.
I'm sorry, Andrew. From trying to sorry, not swearing. I'm trying to figure out where I can split this damn thing.
Oh, you're fine.
What were you saying, hon? I'm sorry, people. I'm just a little disorganized right now.
Oh, you're fine. I was answering Kenneth.
Oh, okay. Alistair. Well, who was he the actor of?
He was General Draven that he mentioned earlier. He said he was not a fan of General Draven and Tiwicker.
I know which ones they're not in the movie that long though.
No, very briefly, but
and then what's this other one? All right. It's Felicity Jones. It's not Felicity David. Right. Did you already answer that from Ken?
Yeah, it was Felicity Jones. Now, how about the tension between Cassian and Jen? At the end of the movie, I'm just like, kiss the freak, get it on, like, just do it, and then nothing happens.
I'm just looking for some.
Oh, you're fine.
God, I don't hate any actor in here. I'm trying to think of what.
Yeah, honestly,
it's so tough for me to pick about one to answer that question.
Like, there really isn't, like I mentioned, like, I mean, excuse me, there were a couple that I wasn't like the biggest fan of, but I definitely wouldn't say I absolutely hated anybody in this movie.
They were just all well cast, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I wish there was more of Saw Gerrero in the movie. I just wish he had more of a role because Forrest Whitaker's a phenomenal actor.
Oh yeah,
should have had more. Oh, sorry, guys. All right, now what were you saying, Andrea? Now that I'm just kind of back on track here.
You're good. So, just some facts about the movie. So it was released in 2016, as we found out that one site was lying to me. It raked in $1.058 billion in the box office.
$1 billion bucks. It's a lot of money.
And they only had a budget of 200 million. So pretty good, impressive revenue there.
Not bad at all.
And for it not being directed by Oh my gosh, why did his name like just leave my brain? It
Who?
was directed by Gareth Edwards.
Okay.
Which I'm not familiar with any other things that he might have directed unless I'm just not thinking.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, he doesn't seem like, oh, he did Godzilla.
Yeah, I see you right now. I'm looking at that.
Sorry, guys, I'm like out of it tonight. I am tired, but I'm trying. Be
Gareth
right back.
Edwards.
And oh, Kenneth, I hope everything's okay.
What happened?
He said he'll be right back. He's on his way for more tests in the hospital.
Okay, Ken. Good luck with that, man. Prayer sent to you. Because I'm getting scared when I hear about hospitals. So Monsters, Godzilla, Rouge One, True Love is coming out this year.
So something I thought that was interesting to me was this idea was pitched for Rogue One 10 years before they went into production of the film.
No way.
Yeah.
Really? I did not know that.
10 years before it entered development. I'm wondering if they presented the idea and they're just like, no, we don't
2006.
first.
Sorry,
So
Andrew, that was 2006.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so 2006. So it's been a hot while since Star Wars. So they're probably like, it's not in our future of doing a Star Wars movie. So I'm curious, like, what changed their mind? Because this would have been great, like, to start the new generation of Star Wars films to have started with this one. Because you go right in, it's like the ending of Rogue One is practically the beginning of A New Hope.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Like, it just would have been astonishing.
Yeah, so I just went through them. I started with I did all of them, the prequels. I did them all in a row recently.
I need to do that. I just did Rogue One last night because I'm like, I was in the mood, like not just because we were going to talk about it on the show because we were going to do it no matter what. Like yesterday, I'm like, you know what? It's like, I just need to watch it. And then I put it on, my husband came and he's like, oh, this is my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's awesome.
Like, it's just so good. Like, you look back at 4, 5, and 6, how amazing those are. And then 1, 2, 3, with the big gap in the years, like it was a different take, but still really well done. And then you got another gap of years, and then here's Rogue One, and it's just as amazing as the rest of them. And I mean, I wouldn't say as amazing because it's better than the rest of them.
Yes, and I will say this: after watching them all in a row again, just the movies, not the cartoons, I haven't done that yet. All the movies, I now less appreciate 7, 8, and 9.
I can see that. Yeah, my husband actually.
I'm sorry, Andrea. I just laughed. I'm like, what is this garbage?
Well, and like it's kind of funny that you say that because like me and my husband were talking last night about it, and we're like, it would have been better if 7, 8, and 9 were made the same way Rogue One was. Like, you would have had a better trilogy for 7, 8, and 9 had they gone that route.
Exactly. Because, Lucas has said this, and even Mark Hamill said this. He goes, 7 was just a modernizing of 4, I mean, of the first one he was in. Sorry. Star Wars, the first one started all off. He was saying that 7 is more like that. It's like not a Death Star, Star Killer base. It's seriously, it's all like it's got overtones of everything. It started in the desert. I was just like, so that's why I started getting like, all right, 7 was kind of like that. 8 was an absolute cluster mess.
Do it, 9, Nick. You won't regret it.
And 9, yeah, do one until you had 7, 8, and 9. No, when 7 first came out, I was loving that movie. But then after a while, years went by, I was like, no, just not for my thing. 8 is such a mess that it's 8's a mess for you. And then 9,
I was like, 9, they only did 9 to wrap the story up.
Yes, you could tell that they decided, okay, we got to give fans something. But 9 is atrocious at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible. What are you telling me? What? We got horses on the wing of a what? I'm like, what's going on here? It could have been good. The problem is you brought Palpatine back, and then you showed Snoke and
Right.
in lab bottles.
I mean, it was cool that they brought Palpatine back, but like the
The
rest of
fans
the
went
story
nuts at Comic-Con.
was just it's just like they only did the film to wrap the story up. Like
they brought him back because he was familiar. Everyone loved it.
Nice to see you.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Ron. What's up, dude? No, I don't mean to keep I'm not trying to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're fine.
That 7, 8, and 9 to start. I mean, I don't mean to just guys go watch it. Just watch how 7, 8, and 9 bounce everywhere around.
And then watch Rogue One, and you'll just see like it's
the difference.
It's just far superior. Like
it is as far as and Mark Hamill goes. Mark Hamill was in 2 of them. Was he in 9? No, I don't think he was in 9 at all. But he said that if I had to watch one of the new movies, he goes, Rogue One's my favorite.
Yeah, I remember that interview.
I remember Disney being so mad. It's like, well, Mark Hamill was saying there should have been. I agree with it.
Could you imagine if they did? I mean, I see why they wouldn't do a sequel of Rogue One because the way that it ended, you go right into 4.
I think they did that great by getting rid of the character so we won't be waiting for them throughout the, you know what I mean?
And that's another thing that my husband brought up was the way that it ended. That we thought that they did it that way so they didn't have to continue the story of the characters. You weren't left with what happens after, And if you guys haven't seen it, we will be talking spoilers, so sorry in advance, but just know like when we do movie nights, we dive into the movies. So again, sorry if we have spoilers, but it's what it is. I mean, it's been out since 2016. Don't be John and just not watch them.
Yeah, John. You guys if you want to see something really funny, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about the one. Damn it. I can't think of it now. Damn it.
It'll come back.
It'll come back. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. After you watch the movie, okay, watch the trailer. And when you watch the trailer, you're gonna be going, none of that was in the movie because the trailer has so many scenes that never made it into the final film. Which
is really curious. Like
if you watch the trailers,
that they had that much extra like film and footage. Like I wonder if they would have put everything in, how long of a movie would it have been, and would it still be as great?
Like the ocean scene at the end is much longer, I believe, in the trailer.
The
way things come, I liked it. I love it when you see the Death Star at the end come flying down.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like, boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh, there it is. It's like, that's awesome.
And then you just see it like in the background, and it just gets gradually bigger. Oh, that was so good.
And Krennic's like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's gonna die. So good.
So let's talk beginning. The first thing, like right away, when you start it, it's just black screen, no music, and then you just get right into it. And I thought that was really interesting because most of the Star Wars, you get the iconic Star Wars movie, you get the rolling text, to kind of ease you in, but you're just black screen, and I think you hear like a musical bit where they're like boom, and then you're right in the movie. I thought that was really interesting.
Did Solo use rolling graphics? Or rolling titles? I don't believe it did.
I haven't seen Solo yet. I need to watch it just because it is a Star Wars movie, but it's one that I'm just not like thrilled to watch.
Wait till you see the scene and how Han Solo gets his name. I was just rolling my eyes like, you gotta be kidding me. But yeah, no, I mean they're trying to bring it. I don't know how to say it about the movies. They just try, like Solo is trying to bring back other fan favorites that you thought were gone. I'm just like, or whatever.
That's crazy. What I love about Rogue One is, I mean, yeah, we get some reoccurring characters, like you got your Vader. They do a brief introduction of Princess Leia, but like really, the whole cast is new. You know, they're characters we've not seen yet.
Yes, fresh. I agree with you 100% on that, Andrew.
And I loved that because you weren't getting the same Star Wars story. You know, it wasn't, oh, Darth Vader's at it again.
Yeah,
Or,
exactly.
you know what I mean? Or, oh, we're going to see another Luke Skywalker Han Solo movie. No, like it was nice. You know, you got to see more into like what goes on in the Star Wars universe rather than what we already know.
Some people didn't like the end scene where he boards tries to board Princess Leia her ship. Because how much power he showed in that one scene, and I'm like, all right, I guess if you compare it to 4, yeah, we're gonna split to 4 sword playing. Yeah, I guess he looks a lot more powerful there. So
yeah,
grabbing guns, flipping. I mean, yeah, all right.
It was still really good. Like you have to have that scene because that's what makes it so great, and that smooth transition right into 4.
It was so good.
He's so good.
It's only darkness. All you see here, whoa, the sword goes red. I'm like, yeah, get him. I love that scene. Remember that pitch darkness and it hits?
And then
you're the breathing like, first year.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah. They're like, we can't get the door open, and then it's just pitch black, and then
take the disc.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like grabbing guns, deflecting shit. I'm like, damn.
So good, man. So good. And I like that we're at the end. If we can go the end to the beginning.
Sorry.
I love it. I love it. Like this is just one, like I feel like we're going to be doing that a lot. We're going to be jumping around. There's just so much to talk about with this movie. Like it's just really good. And then like as we get talking, we're going to remember, you know, like you said, it's been a couple weeks since you've watched it. So as we start talking, you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this. Like I got to talk about it, you know. So don't be sorry.
All right, no, you're right. We're gonna jump up and around about that.
But that's
by the way, if you guys want other holes filled in this storyline, okay, Disney Plus has your fill-ins, Mandalorian, Andor. I
was gonna ask, have you seen Andor? I know that it's based around Rogue One in a way.
It happens really this time before that, so that's what I've been told, and they're all canon supposedly. So Mandalorian happens between movies 6 and 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Obi-Wan. If you want to see Darth Vader, guys, watch the Obi-Wan series.
I've heard that was actually really good, but I've not seen it.
But Darth Vader's in there, and it's the first show where James Earl Jones is not doing the voice.
So. That's interesting.
He retired. He said the voice. He goes, the 9th film was my last. Oh wait, the 9th film was his last. Yeah, not wait. So the 9th one. Did he retire from? Wait, no, he did one other thing. Rogue One. Yeah, Rogue One was his last one. As doing Darth Vader's voice, I believe. Right? Because Rogue One came out before 7, 8, and 9, did it? Wait.
No, I thought Rogue One came out in the middle of all this.
So
let me actually look it up. Star Wars movie releases.
So I'm trying to figure out if 9 was his last one or if Rogue One was his last one. He said, I'm not doing it anymore.
Okay.
Doing it for what? How many years he's been doing the voice? Good Lord.
Yeah, so Rogue One came after The Force Awakens, but before 9.
After 8?
Mm-hmm.
Or before 9? Okay. And I'm a Star Wars fan. I don't even know there's a new movie out. I haven't even looked for the trailer of it yet. I didn't know there was a new Star Wars movie coming out this year.
Yeah, when me and John did our show last Friday, I remember looking on IMDb and it said that there was another one coming out, and I'm really curious about like what the storyline of it's going to be.
Yeah, what's out there about it? Anything?
Let's see, 2023. It's called Rogue Squadron, and it just says that the plot is kept under wraps, but it's going to center around the Rebel Alliance Starfighter Squadron.
Oh, sec.
How's everybody doing tonight? We're thankful for you guys joining in. Sorry if I seem a little low on energy. As always, the work's just been a bit busy, and then I've just been tired. But I'm gonna try to keep my energy up for the show because I've actually been looking forward to the Rogue One show for months now. I mean, what we tried to do this back in November, and then the busy life happened, and I couldn't be on the show. But we're doing it today, and that's all that matters.
The Mandalorian season 3, Andor's out, isn't it?
Yeah, the first,
Yeah.
if not the full season, but yeah. So the movie's going to be Rogue Squadron.
Here we go.
But it says that they don't want to release the plot because they don't want any like spoilers.
Oh, it's coming next Christmas. It's not till 2/20. It's not till the end of the year. We gotta wait a whole year for that one. Rogue Squadron.
Maybe that means it'll be really good.
Now, I'll be honest with you guys. This Star Wars movie, it's going to be a Disney Plus, this Ashoka series. I don't know. I'm not in love with her character like everybody else is.
Is she the one from the
Mandalorian.
animated? Oh, okay, I thought maybe the animated movies.
So yeah, it's the one that she's in the cartoons too. And then Rangers of the New Republic. That is to be set in the same timeline as Mandalorian. Oh, that's cool. It's still going to be produced by Favreau. Yes. That means it's going to be good.
That does mean it's going to be good.
Star Wars Visions. I think that's more of it's animated film. Unnamed new Star Wars movies in development. What does that mean in development? Give me a year. No. That's in theaters. It says unnamed new Star Wars movie. And then Lando's coming out. What is that on Disney Plus?
I think it's going to be because I just saw that. I wonder if that's going to be a series based on Lando, or they want to make like a movie kind of like Solo.
Well, I'm good it's on Disney Plus because no one's going to the theaters after Solo to go watch Lando. Sorry.
Right. I don't see. I mean, if they release it in theaters, they're going to lose a lot of money, I feel.
Then it's The Acolyte. And then it's A Droid Story. Disney Plus.
Droid Story might be interesting.
It's going to be on Disney Plus. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see what it's about. It doesn't seem. It'll introduce a new robot hero to the canon, and somehow it will be guided by the aforementioned droid duo of 3PO and R2D2. Interesting. All right. Sorry, guys. I was just going over everything that they planned. This article was written in September of this year, so it's a few months old. But that's what's in the projects. All those things are what I name are all things in the. Because when does the next trilogy start? I don't even know that.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that yet.
Come on, Andrea. You're supposed to know everything.
I do, but I haven't seen anything. Like the last I heard was that Squadron, unless they're going to make a trilogy around that, but I don't know how they really would.
Has been pushed back. What is this trilogy? The beginning. Wait. Oh my God! It starts this year. The filming for the new triple. Well, that's interesting.
I'm glad you're finding stuff because, lo and behold, guys, I'm slacking over here.
No, I'm just trying to figure out. See, that Ashoka show does not excite me at all. See, the problem is you have like it's like you got one saying this, this, and this, and then there's another thing saying this, this, and this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't get anything. Everything's coming from different things, but they don't tell you. The only thing I found was it's in production. The new 3 of them.
Yeah, a new Star Wars trilogy will be created by Rian Johnson.
All right. It's another prequel trilogy.
Curious.
It says The Acolyte is set at the end of the High Republic era, but has clear ties to the events of the prequel trilogy, especially Revenge of the Sith. So does that mean that's going to be in between 2 and 3? What do you think?
That'll be really interesting to see that, but like, Do we really need a trilogy in between 2 and 3? But I mean, I guess like a lot of time, like, well, no, if anything, I would say maybe in between 1 and 2 because you got the age gap between Anakin in 1 and 2.
Huh. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying to get you. I know there's really uncomfortable silences here. I apologize. I was trying to get you guys the most up-to-date information, but it gives you part of the material and doesn't talk about the other premiere. So I don't know where it falls in the timeline, the canon timeline.
Yeah, so I just looked. I'm probably on the same site you're on. So Mandalorian season 3, The Bad Batch season 2, Star Wars Visions season 2, Ashoka, Skeleton Crew, The Acolyte, Lando, and Andor season 2, all coming this year.
Well, I do what Marvel's doing, which is TV adding shit.
Don't get me wrong, I love the Star Wars universe, but it better not turn into one of these like enough is enough already type thing, like how they're getting with Marvel.
Yeah, I don't like how their 6 and 7 TV shows going to be out about the same. It's that's a lot of Star Wars. Like you were just saying, it's a lot of Star Wars.
Ron, we appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so let's get back on the Rogue One topic.
Okay, the only thing I have, guys, the only thing else that I read here that seems to be stuff is it happens before the Phantom Menace. So that's the only thing here is it's before the Phantom Menace. It's when the High Republic was in its golden years and everything else. So that's what I found, folks. That's about it. So stay tuned. What's this? John. Oh,
rankings best to worst according to parade.com.
Nope. Never gonna. I know a lot of my friends think Empire Strikes Back is their favorite, but I like the original one. Sorry.
Empire Strikes Back is not my favorite.
if you're gonna put it in all these movies, it's really, really tough because I'll take the original. I'll take 4. It's 4, 5, 6 for me. I'm sorry. Yeah, literally 4, 5, 6. I like that order of the originals.
Mine in the originals is 6, 4, 5.
Whoa, you're the only person I know that ever put the 6 movie above the other 2. Oh my gosh,
I love Return of the Jedi. It's my favorite.
That's cool. I like when people have different, opinions of what that's awesome. Now, see, the original trilogy, that's kind of, I'm one of the few people that like Attack of the Clones. Most people hate that movie. And
I actually really liked Attack of the Clones.
Oh, you did? A lot of my friends are like, that's the shittiest movie. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not.
No, I liked that one. I did not like 3. I did not.
You did not like the
See, I don't like it enough to even remember what it's called.
It's right. It went that Attack. It went Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and then where's the other one? It's not even up here.
It's number 4.
What do you mean?
Number 4 on their list.
Star Wars 3. Why is it called Star Wars 3? It should say Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, that's what it's called, Revenge of the Sith. Why couldn't I think of that?
Just like, I don't know if you guys know, but the 6th movie, which was Andrew's favorite, was supposed to be Revenge of the Jedi instead of Return of the Jedi. But they didn't like that title with Revenge, so they went with the other.
All right, so before we dive into Rogue One, why don't we just do our ranking real quick? So
sure, why not?
We obviously don't agree to this list.
I'm getting a piece of paper out so I can quickly write my if I had to watch them over.
Okay, I'm gonna type mine in the comment section since I'm in the stream.
Okay.
So mine will be. I'm just gonna label them how they have them 1 through 12. So like if I say 6, just know I'm talking about Rogue One.
Okay. This is so confusing with these stupid numbers. I'm doing it in my own order.
You're welcome, Nick. Happy to have you.
Thanks, Nick. Sorry, Nick. I'm over here with a pen trying to make sure that I get all my movies here wrong. I hate this list. So I'm doing my own. Sorry, people. Writing down lists. You want to write your own list down? Chime in a minute. We'll be there.
Making sure I got all the numbers.
I'm not even using that crap because I'm going to mess it up. And then it probably goes, oh my God, I guess. So it has to go, I guess. Stand by, troops, with your list if you want to chime in.
Okay.
All right, I got my list done. This is only movies, not TV series.
All right. Did you put Rogue One at number 1?
Okay. No, I didn't put Rogue One at number 1. You guys have to remember, okay, I grew up in the 70s. I'm 52, so I'm going to go off a lot of my memories from the past. I think I've said that before about Star Wars. My list is this, guys. This is what I did, okay? It's the original trilogy in its row, 4, 5, 6. That's exactly, and I'm using 4, 5, 6 because I'm not using this weird-ass list. So it's Star Wars Empire, Return of the Jedi. Then Rogue One, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, because it's between The Last Jedi is such a everything that was established in The Last Jedi was dumped in Rise of Skywalker. So even the end, even Sky, they're almost tied for last. The last 2 movies because the Rise of Skywalker is so. I don't know. It's like if you ever guys have ever watched it, it's like this crap. Okay, look. If you look at this dagger that we made 1 million years ago, supposedly, and that little shiny light. Come on, what is that crap with the dagger? Seriously, what is with that? What is with that dagger that goes? I'll use another prop. Okay, line it up this way. Line it up. No, that's nobody could have known where that was. Known exactly where it would fall. No. So, all right, I got my list. What's yours, Andrea? I'm gonna write it down.
So, Return of the Jedi.
Okay, so you go 6.
And then Rogue One.
One.
And then this is gonna like surprise you, but Phantom Menace. And I think I like that one. Like it made the top 3 because that's the one that I like have the most memories about. But I liked it. I liked young Anakin.
You're what? You're 20 what years old?
Oh my gosh, I'll be 32 this year.
You don't look 32. Okay.
Okay, so, and then
6 Rogue One, Phantom Menace.
And then 4. So New Hope.
Gotcha.
And then Attack of the Clones. And
Clones
then
over Empire Strikes Back.
Well, Empire's next. But yes.
Okay, Clones and then 5, right.
And then The Force Awakens.
Okay.
And then number 8.
The last, you mean the Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
I'm like, the name escaped me. And then where am I?
You went Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, Phantom Menace, Star Wars the original, Attack of the Clones, and then Empire Strikes Back, and then you have Force Awakens.
Force Awakens is where I ended. Okay, so Force Awakens, and then episode 3.
Episode 3. Oh, the rise of the. So from Force Awakens, you go back to Revenge of the Sith now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we go back to the Clone Wars. And then
Wait. You already did Clone Wars.
Did I do Clone Wars? Did I do it twice?
Yeah, in 5, level 7, and then after your 5th choice.
Well, I obviously don't know what I'm talking about, guys. Just know my last one was the last movie that was made. That wasn't Rogue One.
The Last Jedi, you mean?
Yeah.
Or do you mean that or The Rise of Skywalker? The last one.
The last one.
So Rise is your last one, right?
Is my least favorite. The one where everybody dies.
Yeah, I can't stand Last Jedi. And yours is Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yeah.
So you go 6 Rogue One. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I go in a weird order, but like I base mine off of
all
like,
over.
memories and all that. Like I get a lot of slack that I rank Phantom Menace as high as I do, but it's one like I remember going to the theaters and seeing it, and it was just like all the rage when I was a kid, because that was your first Star Wars movie since the 70s.
You spoiled brats.
So yeah, no, we got it good. This my millennia, we get 2 trilogies of Star Wars where back in the day it was just one.
Yeah, it's like, see, I go off my memories. See, I grew up in the 70s, so 4, 5, and 6 are always going to be a thing for me because we didn't have. They only maybe had 1, 2 prints. Usually only 1. Okay, we had to wait in line for tickets. There was no advanced ticket sales. None of that crap. You had to go there and get your little tickets used to shoot out.
Right.
Like, that's it. Now you got to wait in line. So when the mom took us to see is The Empire Strikes Back. We went around the theater, and they were an 8-screen theater, but they only had 2 prints of that. Not like today, where if it's a hot movie, you get 4 prints.
Right.
Many more. Our theaters were spaced apart. I mean, there's probably within 20 miles driving range, you'd have 20 plus screens of Star Wars, and you could advance ticket sales and all that crap. So that's what I remember. It was much harder as it got easier. The ones you guys like, it's like, yeah, because you had advanced ticket sales, you could do all that shit. We could not. Us oldies could not do that.
That depends, John. Are you a Sith or are you a Jedi?
Is Darth really my father? Wait, what are you trying to say to us? You can't. Don't interject yourself into Star Wars talk.
He's trying.
He is. Darth, you're so funny. John, you can be Darth. You can be Darth. You could be General Grievous, I guess.
There you go. All right, so going back into our.
Sorry, guys.
No.
Once again, off topic. I know.
And it's Star Wars. Like, you can't just not talk about them all when you're talking about Star Wars, because like the way that Star Wars is done is the stories all interconnect to each other. Like, you might not realize it, but they do. The Death Star is in almost every movie but the newest trilogies. Count Dooku.
Count Dooku, Ron.
But here's an interesting fact again with Rogue One. It was filmed in less than 7 months. 7 months, which is phenomenal for a movie as great as for it to be filmed and produced and released in a 7-month period. That's pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive. John, stop talking about Star Wars. Okay, take this. Look at your writing. Writing. You mean Lost in Space, the TV series? What are you talking about? Go away.
And it is as of whenever this wiki was made, and I know Wikipedia is not like the most reliable source, but when it was wrote, it was the 20th highest grossing film and the second highest grossing film of 2016. And that makes me wonder, okay, Captain America, but Captain America only beat it by $100 million.
Well, I love the Marvel Universe too. I really do, but I would choose Star Wars over anything else. Well, like Andrea and I kind of said, don't flood too many shows into Disney Plus. I mean, Mandalorian's great. Now you've got another 10 shows on the platform.
Right.
I'm sure they're going to be good, but.
So let's talk Galen Erso.
Oh, I love that dude.
Is it Mads Mikkelsen or Mikkelsen?
Yes, he's a good, incredible actor. He's great. He was great with the Doctor Strange and everything. He's awesome.
I remember I had to look him up because I'm like, wait, where do I know him from? And then I was like, oh yeah, he did Grindelwald in the last Fantastic Beasts movie.
Because he's good.
So good. And like,
people better stop hating on that, by the way, the Harry Potters. Those ones. Those 3 movies, everybody's hating on. Oh, Johnny Depp. I'm like, shut up. I've only seen the first one, so I got to be more of a fan of those 3. Sorry.
But yeah, Galen Erso, he works for the Imperial.
Yes.
Do you think that was by choice, or do you think he was kind of forced into it?
I think originally he was forced, or I think that he originally, it was fine for him. I think he might have been thinking about putting the trap in there even then. But in the end, he was forced, and then he definitely made a way. Where
yeah, because you could like how the film just starts. You know, like they're hunting him down, and then they finally find him, and they're like, "You're coming back whether you want to or not." So obviously, like he had no choice. But like, I wonder, like in the beginning, like
I think he was doing it.
You know.
No, I think I agree. I think he's working for the Empire, and I think in the beginning, like I said, I still think both times he was going to try to put something in it to destroy it.
Like that's just who he is.
Yeah, both times when he started it, and then when he went back to it when he was forced, and his wife got killed and everything like that. I think that both times he was going to find a way to destroy the thing.
What did you think about Krennic? What were your thoughts on his character?
First off, I love that actor, but I love Krennic. Comes off as that little bit of a whiny bitch. He wants everything he made. He wants credit for. Grandma Tarkin takes that from him. He gets all pissed and goes visits Vader.
Yeah, and then he goes crying to Vader, and Vader does this little chokehold on him, and he's like, "Oh
don't
gosh,
choke on your aspirations."
Yeah, don't. Yes. So that's such a good line.
I know. It's like they turns around. He's got his hand there. His Darth Vader's got his hand. It's like, yeah.
That's the Darth Vader we know and love. You know, like they're not too powerful, but like, you know,
just great.
Yeah, so in the beginning, Krennic comes down. They're like, "You've been a hard man to find." They find Galen Erso, and they're gonna forcefully take him whether he wants to come or not. And he plays off at first that his wife's dead, and then I just love that she comes running out of the field, and he goes, "Oh look, it's my wife back from the dead."
Sure got a better shot. Killed Krennic right there, pow. But no.
Yeah, and then she dies, and Krennic's like, "We better go find the girl. Like he's got a daughter. Let's go find her." And then thankfully they don't find her, because I mean the story wouldn't be what it was if they would have found her.
I wish some of the flashbacks were more detailed so that we could have seen him when he was originally working on it.
That would have been really cool. Like really, really cool to see. Even if they did like a little series, not even a series, like just a 1-episode thing on just Galen Erso. Like here's his pre Death Star life or whatever, like how you said you kind of want to see how it would have been really cool to see how the Death Star was even built. Like,
yeah, Krennic, like the only problem with the director, okay, so he's the one that came up and all that, but then the plans were in the prequels.
Yeah.
Especially Attack of the Clones. You actually see you see it in Phantom Menace a teeny bit, but you mostly see it in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So I'm like, well, if they designed it, how is Krennic involved? Like, that part I would like some more clarity on.
That makes sense. Like, because you got two conflicting things right there.
Yeah, because Krennic's nowhere in the in Phantom Menace, Clones, or Revenge of the Sith. So,
or unless they decided like, oh, this is really this guy, but we're gonna rename him something else for this movie. But that would just be kind of weird.
it is weird because it makes. I mean, he makes it off like he designed everything of it.
Mm.
And another thing about the Death Star, I didn't know it had like single engines. Only fire single engine. I'm like, what? That has different settings. I didn't know that.
Right.
Death Star. I thought it just destroyed planets. What do you mean you can dial it down for cities? I'm like, what?
And then like you can just instantly like warp it. Like what the heck? Like
yeah, I know. There's so much the Death Star could do. I know. It's like, wait a minute.
And another thing that I really liked about this movie is you got to experience more of the planets rather than just one or two. Like they showed us a good variety of planets.
Yes, they did. And why is the Empire solution always to just nuke something?
Right? It's their
on that planet. Of all the records, all the advancements, and the satellite, all the shit they put there. You know what? Because rebels have compromised, let's just destroy the whole freaking thing.
Yeah, let's lose all of our files on everything. Yeah, for sure. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah, dude, I will force choke you to death.
Mike would. All right, so Jin escapes and is rescued by Saw Gerrera again. I really wish we could have seen him more. I really would have liked to see him raising Jin, especially when she goes to find him and he kind of explains like, I trained you to be who you are. Like I really would have liked to see that training process, because obviously Jin's like a really good fighter. She's really good with weapons. She's good with her hands in general, you know.
Are we going to get any now? See, there's a thing where it can make something definitely in that gap. I'd love to watch her growing up gap. I'd love to watch her time with Saw Gerrera. I'd love to have something right there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much stuff already coming out, you can't do it. But I would like. I don't know how you feel about that, Andrea, but I would love to see that.
No, that would be really cool. Like it makes me wonder why. And I mean, they obviously did it for time's sake because it still is a 2-hour movie. But make another movie, you know, like a prequel to prequel. Like
you can only go back. I mean,
you know what I mean.
If the next set of movies is about another prequel, so now you're going back when Palpatine. That means it's before the Clone Order. You're going to see, you know, Cypher Diaz. I mean, you'll find out, you know, more about all those. You know what I mean? How much prequel do you want to keep going back to? It's like I don't know how. I don't know how far you want to keep going back. I mean,
it makes sense for sure, because like it's like how we mentioned earlier, like with all these shows coming out, it's too much. You know, are they gonna ruin? Are they gonna ruin the Star Wars franchise? Because like, I mean, obviously it is a cash grab because Star Wars is still making money to this day. People love it, but enough's enough. You know, like
you can't keep. Yeah, I agree with you.
I feel like they've told the stories well enough, but I mean, like, yeah, we want a little bit more like backstory wise, but like, why do we need another trilogy? What's up, Kenneth?
About the same. Yeah, I mean, the first one. I mean, you see, okay, obviously, he's already a Sith. I mean, I would like to see. I mean, the movie should have. I don't know. I don't want another triplicate movie like you said. I want to know that information, but not at the expense of 3 movies. I do not want to. They want to go back to the old Republic and when Jedi's ruled all. I mean, I don't know. That's. I don't know. I would love to see that, but like you were saying, Andrew, they're just flooding it to where you get to the point where you said, which is enough. You know, enough is enough with certain aspects of Star Wars. So I agree with you
100%. Kenneth, shoot away. Ask that question.
Yeah, Ken. We'll put you up here. Pow.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting in the movie, you know, so young Jin's rescued and then all of a sudden 13 years have passed.
Yep.
And
we both agreed there to see more. That 13 years would be nice to watch. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, even if it was just like a quick montage type thing, like here's her growing up really quickly, you know, and then here's her now. You know, like you know?
No, sorry. Go ahead. I thought more flashbacks is all I was going to say. Have more flashbacks than they did.
Yeah, even flashbacks, like not even a montage, just a flashback. Like, oh, like when she first sees Saw Gerrera for after it's been 13 years. Like, it would have been nice. Like, oh, she sees him. Let's hurry and do a flashback. Like, show into that life.
No, you're right. They just had like 10, 15 minutes of other flashbacks that would have helped with backstory without making another movie about it.
What do you think about the pilot, Bodhi? What did you think of him?
I didn't like Bodhi the first time I watched it. I hate to say it. I mean, I didn't hate him. I mean, I was like, what the heck is going on? But then I love him. After watching enough times, I start to fall in love with him. The first time I was
the
like,
only
what?
part I don't really like with him is when they're in the cell and like you can tell, like, I don't know if they use like their Jedi mind powers or whatever on him, because he kind of seemed like he didn't know where he was or who he was, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh yes, I am the pilot.
I know, because Saul Guerrero said that once you have Gullet does that thing in your head, you're not supposed to remember anything else in your life. Remember how he said side effect to that? I'm like, wait a minute. Then suddenly just someone mentions your name and all of a sudden
you remember who you are.
I agree with you, Andrea, in that.
Because like that was something that I'm like, I was really curious on that, because they're like, yeah, you're not supposed to remember anything. And like you can kind of tell like he didn't remember, but then when they ask and they're like, you're the pilot, right? And he's like, he had that blank expression. He goes, yeah, I'm the pilot. And then they get in the ship and then he knows exactly what he's doing. Like, if that really erased your memory, you wouldn't remember how to fly. Like you would have been useless.
Hey, Gary. Sorry to say hi.
Hi, Gary.
Well, it's like Rogue 2. They don't use until they use the word Rogue One. Only Rogue 2's in the movie. Other movies. I don't know if you knew that or not. Starts with Rogue 2 standing by. There's no Rogue One.
Yeah, Ron. Mike mentioned that earlier. With James Earl Jones retiring the voice. So Kenna's question is, would you like to see a movie based on just Vader? What do you see? Like they did with Solo and Skywalker, but what about just doing a one?
Nope. Only problem is everybody wants that. They want more and more Vader put in a movie strictly about Vader. Though I would watch it, of course, because I love Vader. I think that's too much Vader.
I think it would ruin it. I think it would ruin the character. I mean, not saying like it wouldn't be a good movie, but I think, like you said, there's just too much already.
If you want more Darth Vader, Ken, check out Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan encounters him. There's other things in the universe between episodes 3 and 4. Episodes between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Gary, I'm good, doing good over here. How about you tonight? How you doing?
Gary. So Ken, I hope we answered your question there. And James Earl Jones has retired, like we had mentioned earlier in the show, and then Ron reiterated it here. Yes, he is done doing the voice.
I kind of feel like we got that Vader movie in a sense, because with 1, 2, and 3, you see Anakin go into the role of Vader, so you kind of get that feel. I mean, like it's not its own movie, but you get like the whole backstory and stuff, which is probably why they haven't done a Vader movies. They're like, well, we've already like done his backstory in 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6 is obviously Vader is Vader.
Yeah, Ron, we're saying the same thing. Yeah, is that Vader can't? Yeah, you can't keep putting. I mean, when you put him in there, it's like, oh, more Vader, and they go to watch the show, but they'll rush the show. But if you want more Vader, like I said, Obi-Wan's is between the time when he drops Luke off.
I can't be mean to Mike though. Sorry.
Andrea doesn't like me at all, so. Bring it, Jedi.
Hi, Kevin. Good to see you. Okay, so we were talking about Bodhi the pilot. How do you think he escaped easily? Like, you just can't decide one day, like, oh,
he's working.
Empire.
Wasn't he working? He was working for Jalen Urso, right? And then Jalen Urso must have trusted him enough to give him what he gave him. Which are the plans.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious, like, how did that trust come about? Because, like, if I was Galen Urso, I'd be like, hey, nobody earning my trust. I mean, they do say straight up to Jin, like, trust nobody, trust the Force. So I'm wondering if like Galen just had that vibe with Bodhi, and he's like, I can feel the Force is strong with this one. Like, I can trust this guy with my life.
I know, and he's he's the one that like takes the plans. Which I don't know why Saul Guerrero. I mean, I don't know why I had to use the Bull Gullet thing, but I don't know. I guess the distrust from him was a lot more than I thought. So I'm like, why does no one believe in this guy? Just watch The Drive. But it doesn't seem like The Drive makes sense until she arrives on the scene and talks to Saul Guerrero.
Yeah, why do you think they didn't watch it until Jin's there? Like,
yeah, he's like, I did, and Saul Guerrero just immediately said, well, this is bullshit. I'm like, how, if you have such a network of people, right, and this pilot brings you something that's pretty official looking, I don't know why you would then have to use a monster to try to suck the memories out of him. Obviously he did. He said the same thing. So how do you not know that's not legit until she watches it?
Right.
I'm like, what? I didn't understand that. I don't know what war he was in that he required oxygen all the time, or whatever that was, medicine, oxygen, whatever it was.
What is it? Just me, or did you kind of get like Vader vibes with that?
With the
oxygen, and you know how like Vader's got that type thing.
Yeah, it could be. No, it could be like that. I don't. His rebreather and the suit is constantly debated about Star Wars fans and everything they read and watch and what actually does it do. I know what you mean. He has to pull it up to get the medicine or the air or whatever he has to take. Yeah, so that sound effect. Yeah, you're right. That's definitely Vaderish. Definitely.
Yeah. So, Bodhi presents the disc. They don't believe him, even though they're like, it's like totally legit and official. So they lock him up, and then some rebels free Jin from wherever she was. I just remember she was locked up in a vehicle somewhere, and then they open the door and she tries to run, and they go, "We're rescuing you." And then Detroit K2SO is like, "Congratulations, you're being rescued." And then throws her on the ground. Like, I just loved that.
I know, that was great.
And then this is when we first meet Cassian. When I watched this,
don't worry, Jen. I'm on your side. And he's like, Caspian told me to be, or told me to.
Yeah.
What he said.
He told me I have no choice. I have to be here for you, or something like that. Good night, Ron. Thanks for popping in.
Night, Ron. It's good to see you, even if it's briefly.
I understand Cassian's we have to kill Jalen Erso. Like, I get that. But like, why lie to Jin? You know, like, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna go save your father," when in all reality they're just gonna kill him. But like, she obviously doesn't know where her father is. So why pretend to be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go find him and rescue him," when, you know, it's obviously we're on a hunt.
It's like a mafia movie. The guy's like, "Look, ignore everything that was said in that meeting. You see him, kill him." I'm like, what the hell, dude? You guys are like, it's like a mob hit.
Yeah.
I'm like, seriously, it was just weird.
And it's kind of curious too, because like, they say that they have this message, and yet they're like, "Oh, well, we need to kill Galen Erso." Well, if you kill Galen Erso and you don't have that message, then y'all wouldn't have saved the day, and the Empire wouldn't have gone down the way that it did. So I just thought that was really curious. Like, was it Imperial? Like, maybe a rebel was like, "Oh, I work for the Imperials," but because I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but like, there was one scene in particular where just before Galen dies, and he doesn't die, he's like, "Somebody here leaked that we have the plans of the Death Star." How does he know that?
Who does who know?
Who? Gosh, what is his name? We just talked about him.
Oh,
Krennic.
Krennic.
Yeah,
How does Krennic?
how does Krennic know that somebody leaked the plans?
There was a scene before that where he found out. Wait, didn't he?
Maybe I missed something. I mean, I could have missed something when I was trying to like pay attention, but like that was just kind of curious because like you've got the rebels who want to kill Galen Erso, and then all of a sudden Krennic's like somebody leaked the plans, but how did he know unless there's like an Imperial spy somewhere in the rebels?
But wasn't there someone that said that about the Death Star? Weren't they saying that they? Because throughout the movie, no one believes there's a Death Star until things start happening with it. I see what you're saying, Andrea. I'm trying to think if there was dialogue before he went to the scientist. Wasn't there a scene before that where Tarkin mentions it to him?
It very well could. That's just what I don't remember. Like, yeah, I think I'm thinking too much into it. Like it's just coincidental.
John.
That's my favorite version of Luke. Anyway, so
you got there, Ken? Thought he was the one who knew the leak was.
So he doesn't actually know because they go to.
He just knows there is a leak.
Yeah, he knows there's a leak, and then they go to the building or whatever with all the scientists, and they bring them out on the bridge, and they're like, "One of you spread the leak," and then when nobody volunteers to tell, he's like, "Fine, then I'm going to assume it was all of you," and that's when Galen Erso's like, "No, it was me, leave them alone."
And he thought he was saving him, which sucked. No, that's a yes, I love that whole thing. I'm glad that what's his name didn't kill him, And I think all that stuff he tells her in the thing, like about some of us, like all the times he interacted with her early on about how much you don't realize how much we sacrificed for the rebellion and we had to do shady stuff. So if you want that stuff, go watch on Disney Plus. Go watch what is it in that show with him in it? Andor, right?
Mm-hmm.
The name of the show on
Andor.
Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
It shows him. That's obviously it's pre because he dies in Rogue One. But that's all about his shady dealings coming towards Rogue One. So that would explain more. I hope if I'm going to watch it eventually. But I'm assuming
and Disney,
that's
if you're watching, come sponsor our show.
Yes, how much pump up we give you? Holy cow! You and Harry Potter world.
Gosh, yes. All right, so we got the pilot. He's been captured. So Jin's been rescued, and they're going to Jeddah. I love Jeddah. Like, it's just so cool.
Jeddah is cool. Other planet that wish we had background information. You got that huge, those Jedis, in sand are rocking on their side.
I'm wondering if we see Jeddah more in Andor. I'm kind of curious on that.
That would be cool. Yes, that would be great. That would be absolutely fabulous.
And then we learn about kyber crystals. Those are the crystals that the lightsabers are made from.
They also power the Death Star.
Which is kind of cool.
It's cool. In the Death Star, is there some place where people shovel like coal into boiler rooms or whatever?
It probably is.
With the kyber crystals, you have to load them in like you're throwing coal into a furnace. Like I don't understand how the Death Star is powered yet.
And then our friend Jin.
How does it power it though with kyber crystals?
They don't get it. Yeah, like let's just get a little bit more information on how the Death Star works. Like just give us that. Like just a one episode, like a Star Wars special, the Death Star.
Show us how that's done.
It's all we want.
I mean, the Death Star itself makes no sense. Like elevators, where are you going to be? I can't. Those flooring. I mean, is it a side flooring plan? Everyone's got levels. That structure is weird. It looks cool, and it is cool, but your interior shots are kind of, I don't know. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love the Death Star, both of them. But there seems to be, it's unnecessarily large.
Right.
Why do I say that? Because the gun on Palpatine's ships he makes, and 9 can do the same thing.
Right.
So I don't know.
One of the scenes that I've really liked in particular in Jeddah is where they get into the big gun battle with the stormtroopers, and then K2SO comes and he goes, "You guys are doing an awfully good job of being two people who are just blending in."
They do get to meet my favorite character though, Sharut and what
Sharu
is his name?
and
Pals or whatever.
Baze.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two coolest people in the whole movie, like no
They're
doubt.
just such a And then Donnie Yen comes out and does all his martial arts stuff, which is awesome.
Yes.
Pow, 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 pow.
And again, that was just like perfectly cast. Like they couldn't have picked somebody better to do his role.
Very good.
And then Jin is captured, and she goes, "No, I need to talk to Saw Gerrera." And I wouldn't say she was really captured. Like they just don't want people to know where he's at. So they throw the hoods on, and then you get Sharut's famous line of, "I'm already blind." Like
that's the best line. When he puts, that's one of the best lines. Just like when she shoots the other droid that looks like K2SO.
Oh, yeah. And he goes, "How'd you know that wasn't me?" or you know that wasn't me. And she goes,
I love that line.
"Yeah, sure."
How come she gets a blaster? Or is it a gun? He said. How does she get it? Why does she get a gun?
Why does she get a blast? I think it was why does she get a blaster?
And I don't.
You
want to know the percentages of her using against you? Yeah. It's high, very high.
I love K2SO. He probably my favorite droid so far in the Star Wars movies. And I think it's just because he's got that perfect default where he can speak his mind.
Yes, he's very crass, which I like his, and it's awesome. R2D2 and C-3PO are just totally different.
Right. I mean, they're still great droids, but like there's just something funny about
K2SO's
demeanor, you know.
Yes, and BB-8. BB-8's good too.
Can't forget BB-8. I don't think I've met a droid in Star Wars that I didn't really like.
Do you like the droids they put together that eventually helps him get to the Sith homeworld? In 9.
Sure. Oh no. Okay, so
they put them together, and then suddenly he knows how to get to the planet. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And suddenly C-3PO has some kind of code in him that doesn't allow him to talk about the Empire. What? I was like, what is that about?
Oh, excuse me.
When did he get a part? Do you know what I mean?
Hold on, Kenneth. I got an answer for you.
Ooh. I'm trying to tell you stuff. Cut me off, Andrea.
Oh no, you're fine.
I do it all to you. I do it to you all the time.
Where did he go? I'll tell you.
Tell you right now, that was weird. The little droid knew where it was, basically, and then suddenly C-3PO's moral code won't allow him to translate the Empire item, dark side. Whatever.
Sorry, I'm on IMDb right now.
I don't think he was, but that's just my guess.
No, he looks like he's in like I want to say anything that he's like really well known for.
Well, he's known for the Ip Man series, and he's also known for several other movies because of his action style. He choreographs most of his movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say most of his movies are like kung fu related.
Yes, but he uses weapons too. I'm pretty sure that he probably had something to do with the choreographing in Rogue One.
But no, Kenneth, not the same person.
I didn't think he was. There you go, Ken. Andrea finding out for you.
Okay, so
yes, John, we all love your posters.
Hi, Morgan. I'm here for you.
Where's she at? Andrew or Morgan? Yeah, I already know Morgan. I always know. I always know.
All right, so they do their little fights with the stormtroopers, and then Jen's like, "I need to go see Saw Gerrera," so they take her and her new friends to see Saw Gerrera, and Saw Gerrera, has this moment, and he's like, "Yes, like
Hi, Morgan.
I trained you, like I raised you, and I don't know. I definitely see where Jen's coming from. She's like, you ditched me, but Sagar is like, well, you were 18, like practically an adult or whatever, or 13, however old she was when he left, and then you're like, that's where I kind of wish like that backstory, you
I
know.
love. I always said hi to you, Morgan, but I love the post. It makes me feel important.
So Sagar is like, we have a message from your father, so they play it, and that is when we first see the powers of the Death Star. Now, why do you think they went? I don't remember, and it just might be because I just don't remember, but why did they decide to target Jeddah?
Sorry, Morgan's being funny. Okay, so now where we're at. So then they get out, right? They find a way out, or Sagar.
Yeah, but like, why? What was their reasoning behind attacking Jeddah, or was it just that was what they wanted to attack in the very get-go?
Well, didn't he say we? Isn't the line is single engine start or a single engine, and he goes, "We want a statement, not a manifesto."
Yeah.
I
So
know
I'm
that line.
wondering, like, I mean, they were the Empire was already in Jeddah because they needed the Kyber crystals, but like, I just wondered, like, were
And then they
they
destroyed it.
yeah, so I'm kind of
Like,
curious, like, why that one place? Like, they could have picked anywhere else, any other galaxies, you know, planets, whatever, to make their statement on, but they picked.
well, now that we know the Death Star has several settings of destruction, it's like what?
Mm.
So it's just
And
funny.
that was kind of cool. Like, so that it was really interesting that the planet just didn't simultaneously die. You saw it erupt and it went up and it spread. Like, that was really cool.
The first one or the second one?
The first one.
First Death Star. Okay.
Yeah, so when they blow up Jeddah and you just see the crater start and it goes up and then it comes out towards the city and people are freaking out. I mean, I'd be freaking out if my world was blowing up.
I'm just saying, if you can light speed this, obviously you can obviously move the Death Star by light speed. So if you can do this, and there's a danger, wouldn't you just rotate it and move? I don't. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Seems like you could move the object away.
Yeah, and you know, to keep up with our story, our heroes somehow find a way off the planet with the help of K2SO.
And we see the shot. Boom.
And sadly,
Oh, sorry. So yeah, they do this like Andrea was saying. They shoot the shot. They blow up Jeddah.
And then you see Saw Gerrera make his famous statement, and he's just standing there, and he takes off his breathing machine, and he's just like going down with this ship, literally.
I don't know why. Is the whole planet out of Kyber crystal? Is that why he now nukes part of the?
That's kind of what I'm wondering, or if they knew like there were some rebel forces there. I don't know like how they might have known that, but I mean, it's interesting. Like, why did they target Jeddah in the first place?
Yes. I don't know why that was used to make the statement because no one knows. It's so funny because the people back on Yavin, they have no clue that the Empire just shot that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, how do you not know this already? Your guys' advanced communications that horrible?
Right.
If Darth Vader could talk to the Emperor thousands of miles away, I don't know how you guys don't have a connection to figure out. You know, it's like in episode. It's like in 7. How do you not know the Force was real? Are you kidding me? Why? How do you guys not know any of the story?
Right.
Han Solo has to go. It was all true. It's like, come on.
Like,
seriously?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They talk via yes, they do. Okay, so so they escape. Jin's telling everybody on board with her, like, I saw the message. We need to get to Scarif now. And you know, they're like, well, we obviously don't trust you. Like, your father's an Imperial worker. Like, why would we take his word? you
Right.
know, and they're like, we're not going to Scarif.
And they go to Yavin, right?
Mm-hmm. So before they do that, it's like you were saying, we see Tarkin
Oh, and Krennic.
wanting to take the credit for everything, and he's like, no, this was me. And then you get the hissy fit of Krennic, and he's like, no, like, this is my work, my hard work. Like, if anybody deserves credit, it's me.
And Tarkin's like, I'm going to tell the Emperor that I came up with this, and it came to my fruit, that under me. I just thought that was funny when he tried to grab Krennic's fame. Say, I don't know how much Krennic's important to this project because he couldn't complete it without Ursa.
Right.
So I'm like, how much does he really do in that? I don't know how much does he really have in the design. I don't know.
But it's just kind of funny, like, that's kind of how it is in today's age, though. Like, you get people all the time trying to take credit of other people's work. So it's just kind of funny that they were able to capture that in this movie. You know, you got two high, powerful Imperials generals, and they're just like, oh, I want to take credit for your work. And then the other guy's like, you know, like, he was practically in tears. Like, I would be too. Like, that's your life's work. And this guy's like, I'm going to the Emperor and telling him that it was all me.
I know that he goes there and he's like, he doesn't get choked till he says, he's like, I at least deserve an audience.
Right.
And that was it. Pissed off Darth Vader. If people have to remember, at that time, Darth Vader was actually under Grand Moff Tarkin. He was not the guy that issued all the commands and all that. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, right, Andrea?
Mm-hmm.
Because in Star Wars, the very first one, people call it A New Hope, whatever. The new one, they talk about he's underneath. Darth Vader is more subservient to him until he passes away. And the Emperor makes him. So it makes you wonder if Grand Moff Tarkin was better friends with the Emperor.
Right. So after
the visit to Darth,
we see
where are we at now?
Yeah, so after we see Jeddah, we see
we go to Yavin, don't we? Go to Yavin first.
Edu. We go to Edu.
Wait, I thought we said but they went to Yavin to get those orders, right?
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Then they went to Edu, and then they went back to Yavin.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just trying to move it along. Sorry, I know you were too, Andrea. I'm getting
off
topic.
You're fine. No, you're fine. So they go to so we'll say they're in Edu. And this is where Galen Urso is. And this is like their base that they're working on. And I don't know. Like, I'm conflicted here because, like, Cassian had all the reasons to kill Galen Urso, and it makes me wonder, like, why didn't he make the shot? Like, he had every opportunity to.
Yeah, and Jyn Erso hadn't really, those two weren't exactly getting along very well.
Right. And I'm wondering if that's the reason why he didn't do it, because he's like, I got to build the trust of this girl, obviously. Like, she's going to play an important part of the rebels and winning the war.
Do you think him seeing Jyn go up the side, coming up toward the platform for when he was looking through his scope, do you think that changed his decision?
And that very well could have, because he obviously could have killed her father, and then what next, you know? So for her, yeah. It's really sad that her father still died, but for him to not have died from Cassian's bullet per se, I think was a bit better. But I want to say, because like the whole time, like especially near the end, like you can tell there's chemistry between Cassian and Jyn. Like,
oh yeah,
no doubt, like just kiss each other already. Dang it, So like I'm wondering if that's when he's like, oh, like I might actually have feelings for this girl, so maybe I need to like trust her.
Yes. Then they go back to Yavin to plead their case after the destruction of Edu.
And nobody believes them.
No one believes in a Death Star. No one believes in anything. Just like I don't know what that guy does on that pole from Rogue One or Episode, the first Star Wars movie ever made. What is that dude doing up on a pole with a pair of binoculars? Never could figure out what that was going on there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. The one guy, like, just
He's got like this gun thing or whatever. I'm like, what are you doing?
My only thought is he's obviously there looking for something, but like, what is he looking for, and what good is he going to be against like a ship or a fighter? You know, like you're one guy with a little gun compared to.
Maybe he's the one that shoots wildlife to eat. It's a deer platform. Sorry.
But yeah, so Edu like is sad, you know,
John's back.
Jin's father's tragically killed. I mean, it was pretty tragic. Like you've got the rebels coming in to fight the Imperial fighters that are there, and he's killed in the action as they firing upon the sky bridge there, or whatever they call it. And I kind of wish he would have survived. Like, part of me wishes that Jin had that closure, but then again, like, I feel like if he would have survived, we wouldn't have had the ending that we had.
Yeah, I think they wanted him to just see how much of a egotistical mellow man, that word, about his creation more than he cared about other stuff. It's funny. His impending death, he's still worried about how awesome the Death Star is.
Right. So they leave Edo. Jin's now presenting her case in front of the rebels, and she's like, look, I've seen the video. And they're like, well, you're the only person who's ever seen it, so why should we believe you?
Well, Churro and them believe her right away. They're like, because he knows what the force is in people.
Yeah, and he can feel it, you know, and that's another reason why I really love him. Like, he instantly is like, well, I believe her, I trust her. And they're like, well, why do you trust her? And he mentions like the force is strong on with this one. Yeah, so I kind of think it's cute how Cassian comes up with a group of ragtag people, and they're like
on Yavin, right? They're on Yavin, right?
They're on Yavin, yeah. So they're like, we might not be 100 guys, but we're people who've made mistakes in life and want to like better them in a way, you know. They're like, one way or another, we've all made our mistakes and our choices in life, so we want to do something to make up for it.
I like Jimmy Smits too, by the way, that played Organa, the father of the pseudo father, I guess, of Princess Leia. He's awesome. Of course, he dies, but he's awesome. He's in the prequels a lot too, isn't he? Yeah. I
do like how they come up with the name Rogue One. I thought that was kind of clever. They're like, what's your call sign? And Jin's like, well, just say something. And he says the first thing that comes up with him, and he's like, Rogue. And they're like, that's not a name. And then he goes, Rogue One. And then they're like, Rogue One, that's not a call sign. And Kate Russell's like, well, it is now, and turns the ship on. And then they leave. Like, I'm like, really, how are they going to stop an Imperial ship from leaving? Like, really, no, how are they going to keep you grounded? Like, they don't
smash the tires.
It's not a car, but like, they don't have another ship to stop them. You're just on the radio comms, you know, like, oh, sorry, we don't give you clearance to fly. Like, who's that going to stop?
The Empire's idea of shields never worked. The shield for the Death Star in Return of the Jedi, nope. On Scarif, nope. None of these shields hold.
And speaking of the shield on Scarif, you know, and we're going to get there soon, but I just love how that one little rebel ship pushes the
the hammerhead one pushes the other one.
And you just, the Star Destroyers getting destroyed like by one itty bitty ship because it got right in the right location to just push them. And it's like, why didn't they throw their like thrusters on? If they would have like put their thrusters on, it would have been good.
I was a good driver. I couldn't help it.
Get a hammerhead and push it in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
So great. And then it just.
So we just had to put large thing in it to make it break. right?
Yeah.
He just pushed that. I don't know. The Empire destroying things. It's just the Empire. I don't know why you would destroy Scarif, but
Anyway, so they get to Scarif. Their objective is let's find the master plans. Like we got to get the Death Star plans out of here.
Stardust.
And I love how K2SO's like the only thing standing in our way is 89 stormtroopers, and we have like a 50-something% chance that we're gonna die.
That's right. He does. Then they radio back to distract him out front.
To blow it up, and then
make it look like they're at war.
Yeah. And it's only like 10 people. They're like, make 10 people look like 400, I think is what they say. And they're like, we might be few in numbers, but
I love when they get there with all the ships they all get underneath the shield to go and start doing ground attack. Like I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
X-wings and A-wings. I was like, that was cool. I like that pilot with the porn mustache. That porn mustache guy was good. He's like the captain or general.
I do think it is really sad that we see the untimely death of K2SO, but I love how he sacrificed himself in the end. He's like, it's not me who's got to survive this, it's you guys. And he's like, let me just seal you in so nobody can get in and harm you.
He makes a cool remark when she hands him a blaster. She goes, yeah, you've always wanted one of these. And then what does he say? You continue to surprise me, Generosa?
Something like that.
Yeah. Continue to surprise me. And then that's right. He sacrifices himself, but that was awesome.
And I don't think I could ever see any other droid do that, you know? Like,
oh yeah, no other one. You need one that spoke.
So good. Like it just that droid. My favorite character of the whole movie. It is sad that most of the Rebel Alliance on the ground is killed, but epic scene. You know, you got everybody just doing their own things that they're strong at, and just it's John, you gotta watch it. Like you'll just know. Like you're just like it.
When you know, really right?
You just can't like describe it. It's just so good. Like there's so much going on that it's hard to like break it down and be like, this is what happens here, here, and here. Like it's just one big chain of events, and it's just, it's like Die Hard.
Well, if I ever go missing, people have kidnapped me, and I am now forced to watch Star Wars locked in a dark basement for at least a month. So if I go missing, I will try to send out an address where I'm at. So.
Well, we did learn that if the Empire and Empire Strikes Back, if just the Hoth forces had rocket launchers, they could have stopped the ATSTs and the AT-AT walkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he files like a torpedo from his shoulder. It's like wow into the thing, and then they ended up blowing it up so simply. I'm like, wait a minute, how is that? Why did Hoth have no rocket launchers then that could do that?
Right.
I laugh about that stuff only because it's like. You're using weapons that I don't know, but I like that. It was the AT-ATs, the actual AT-AT walkers, and the ATSTs. I know were the smaller ones, but
yeah,
I don't know if the big ones were there, but it was still cool.
So our droid friend sacrifices himself, and Jyn and Cassian have to now start climbing, and
to find Stardust, or what her nickname with her father.
I missed it. Like, I don't know if I got up and grabbed something like in between scenes, but like, I don't remember how.
They're going through the files, and she said that she goes, "I'll know it when I see it." And then she's like, she goes, "Stardust." She goes, "That's it." How do you know? Because of my dad, you know.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and K2SO is able to make it light up before his untimely die. Yeah, so they know what one to go climb up, and then Cassian is injured, and I kind of like that he played dead, you know. So you think, oh, that's the end of him, you know. So Jin's like freaking out. She's like, well, how am I gonna do this alone? She grabs the plans and climbs up to the satellite, and just when you think she's going to save the day, Krennic shows up, and he's like, you've lost or something like that, or he's like, oh, I can't remember his exact words, but it's pretty much like, you've done all you can, like, too bad you lose, like, I win, haha, type thing. And then all of a sudden Cassian's back and shoots Krennic.
By the way, quick stormtrooper thing, guys. Okay, y'all love what's her name? From was it 7 and 8? Chris, lady from Game of Thrones, Gwendolyn. What's her last name? She played Captain Phasma. Okay, remember Captain Phasma? Andrea from 7, 8.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why the Empire does this. That the Empire and the First Order, whatever, do not understand, like, okay, about stormtrooper growth, right? And Rogue One, his troops are the most elite, okay, that he has with him. Krennic does. Where are these soldiers any other time? I'm like, why aren't you creating more of these guys and less of the white guy, the white fucking costume? The white stormtroopers. Okay, just
yeah, because the tan looking ones were so much better than the white ones. Like, just skill and everything.
If you have different color armor on and you're a stormtrooper, you're better than the rest. It's just so funny because I'm just like, then train more people like that than you train people like that. You know what I mean? I never. Every time they introduce someone, it's like, I mean, just like, when did the stormtroopers suddenly get flip around weapons in 7 and 8 and 9, I think too. When did stormtroopers suddenly have nunchucks and all? I'm like, okay, that's what I'm just saying. I interject everybody. That's my stormtrooper view. Stormtroopers.
No, it makes sense. So, Krennic shot. Jin's able to run and emit the message because the shield has been destroyed, as we mentioned before. They have to head into the Star Destroyer and they crash into the shield.
Angela's favorite thing, the hammerhead pushing it right into the hole.
That is so fun. Like, the smallest little ship just pushing it. So the rebels are like, oh my gosh, like, it's real, like, we've got a transmission coming, like, we've got the plans, So how bad do you think they feel that Jin's telling the truth and they're like, oh, we're so sorry, we didn't believe you? Like, how bad do you think they're feeling?
Yeah, bad.
So they get the schematics, and then
Death Star arrives.
The Death Star, like, just nice, big, like,
huge,
so good. And like, it sucks, like you mentioned, like, this is where all their plans are held, but like, they're like, we've got to destroy it. Like, the rebels have infiltrated. They know where we store stuff. So be gone.
Saito, be gone. Exactly. Be gone.
Hey, Native. And it sucks. I mean, like, I want to say it sucks, but like, so they shoot the planet, and I remember thinking, because it had been a minute since I'd seen Rogue One, and I'm like, wait, how are they getting off the planet? And then I was like, oh yeah, nobody gets off. That we know of.
Right.
But Cassian and Jin, like, just the tension, the sexual tension, guys, like, oh my gosh, like, come on. You can't tell me that it wasn't there. Like, when they were in that elevator, like, just grab her and kiss her, man. Like, y'all are dying anyway. Like,
yes. And what you just said about chemistry, Andrea, exactly, right? That chemistry between those two in Rogue One is way better than Kylo Ren and what's her name? Yeah. You know what I mean? That I saw.
100%.
What is that? I'm like, wait, you guys have sexual tension? Oh, like, where'd that come from? This one, the whole movie builds up to, like you were saying. I'm just agreeing with you, Andrea.
Like,
I'm just saying more about
it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, like, I just remember, like, that scene, and I just telling my husband, I'm like, kiss already, like, enough. I'm like, you can cut that tension with a knife, like, come on. And then you get the cute little sunset scene where their world's ending and they just kind of cuddle and die, and like, it was perfect. Like, it sucks that they died, but I mean, it told their story so well, and we're not left with what happens next, because we get that in A New Hope, because the next scene we see is they're downloading the plans, and they're like, we've got to take these to somebody we trust, and that somebody we trust was Princess Leia, who phenomenal, like look-alike.
CG did a good job.
Oh my gosh, phenomenal job. You couldn't even tell that it was a CG. Could
Yeah,
not
you
tell.
could.
Oh, like I've
But
got,
yeah,
I don't know
with
if you
the
can see it,
scene,
but like I've got goosebumps just talking about this movie. Like I love it so much.
dude, you got me to the final
Oh.
scene. This is when Darth Vader actually
Oh my gosh, the
his scene
iconic. Oh,
comes in there and he just like, boom, just like he kills them all real quick.
yeah, and like, yeah. So they're like, we got to get these plans. We got to get them. Take the card, and then the ship's power gets cut off, and it's just pitch black, and then you hear the lightsaber turn on, and then just
It's
red.
so awesome. He's like, give me your guns up to the ceiling. You're cracked. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's just going for the guys, and how they managed to get the plans away from Vader is kind of like beyond me, because like
They never the force with these people are supposed to be so much. I find it hard to believe that he couldn't just hold the ship a teeny bit longer and get it. I don't know.
Yeah, and so they managed to slip the disc to somebody on the other side, and they're able to release the ship, and they fly away, and then the guy's like, here are the Death Star plans, and then the CG Leia.
And bam!
It's exactly how number 4 starts.
And number 4 starts it's right after that.
Perfect. Like, I don't think there's ever been a movie that has ended just so right for the next one in line to just start up. Like you watch Rogue One and start right into A New Hope, and it's just, you're not like, well, what happened like in between? You know, like it's not years, it's not days, it's seconds. You know, like
Back to the Future does that, doesn't it?
What?
Some of the Back to the Future movies, they end and the next one picks up right where we left off.
I've never seen them.
All 3 of those movies connect together. Yeah, all 3 of those movies connect somehow.
But this is just perfect because, like, what the episode 4 was late 60s, early 70s, and then you've got this one that was made in 2016, and they perfectly.
What are you talking about? Star Wars first released in 76.
76. For some reason, I was thinking 69.
Go to your husband. He knows how to solve that.
Nice. Anyway,
sorry Andrea.
Yeah, no, like just how perfect it is for the gap in years. I mean,
you got me wanting to watch it again now.
We're gonna have, like, honestly, Mike, like, let's just have a night where we're just watching and we're discussing.
That'd be awesome.
If you guys give me copyright permission, I'll put it up on the screen so everyone can watch it with you. You can do it.
I think you're allowed to use video, so you can use it for parody. I think you can do reaction. I think reaction videos are allowed under the copyright thing.
Well, just think of it that way. You're watching these clips and you're doing a narrative as the movie's playing. How much better that would be for you guys.
That would be great. Well, I just have to see. Yeah, you just have to make sure that we use it in the proper way, because the DMCA Act is strict with certain things. Very strong with certain things. Like parody, that's why what's name's able to do Robot Chicken, all those ones about only Star Wars. So I was using in parody. You can use everything, I guess. So, but
what did you think of the music, Mike?
Loved it.
We were introduced to the same music that you hear in all the Star Wars, which was really cool. Like they branched out.
I have the Rogue One soundtrack on my Spotify list.
So
I love the Rogue One music.
So good.
It's different, and that's what I liked about it. It was just different. Yeah. It was good.
And it still fit in like the theme, you know, like you can tell it's Star Wars. There wasn't like, oh, what's this? You know, no, it's still Star Wars. Like different as it may be. I know, sorry, it's getting late. Yeah, guys, you guys joining in, like, I'm sorry, I am 2 hours behind in time from John and Mike, which is why Friday night movie night is later in the evening than all the other shows, but that's just because by the time we start, it's only 7 o'clock my time. So these guys are just falling asleep, where it's just getting barely 9 o'clock here.
I'm wide awake. I just turned on Star Wars. Don't mind me.
That's because you did lines of cocaine. Go back to watching Scarface.
Okay.
Go do your cocaine off screen.
I'll say
But no,
hello.
like,
I'll
say
say hello to my little friend for you.
Okay, John, stop.
we made this a 2-hour show just talking about one movie. Like, that's just how good this movie is. I mean, yeah, we went off a tangent here and there, but like we kept it Star Wars related. But this one's just one that had we have tried to like do other movies with it, we'd still be discussing Rogue One and not get to the other movies and be like, sorry guys.
If you want a good roast fest, wait till we get to 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9, I'm going to complain 90% of the time.
He's not lying.
Because those 3 movies, I had fonder memories. Now I got to watch everything. I went Rogue One straight through the movies. I don't watch Solo. I watched the 3 movies, and 7, 8, and 9, just every time I watch them, I get less and less enthused. Like, I like the cinematics of certain scenes and everything. Like when they kill Snoke and then everybody battles with the Red Troopers, which are always force powered. That's awesome scene, but I don't like the movie. So that's a great movie. That's a great scene. And this Empire, I'm sick of this dark side clouds all bullshit. How do Snoke, if you're so powerful, how'd you not see that lightsaber coming? Are you kidding me?
Right.
I'm like, why do you people not see that? I don't get it. So I like Snoke until I found out he's making a test tube.
Right.
I'm sorry. And Snoke was aboard. Remember, Snoke was aboard the second Death Star before it blew up to get what's his name's body. Yeah. Yep. Fuck you, Star Wars. That's ridiculous.
I guess you didn't hear what I said. My kid's okay though.
Snoke at the bottom level, sneaking him out. Just that image to me is just dumb. Snoke was a good villain, but they wasted him. John, these jerks are back. Get him.
I got him. But I'm guessing you didn't hear what I said.
What? I'm sorry, dude.
I said I was made in a test tube. You like me?
You were not made in a test tube.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I am.
You're not a test tube, babe. What are you talking about?
I'm a robot. Can't you tell?
But yeah, I think
R2D2 out.
That this is a good spot to wrap up the show for tonight. Like we got to discuss one of our favorite Star Wars movies.
Andrew was more on point than I was tonight. Sorry, everybody.
No, it was fun. Like
yeah, but you were on point.
Yeah, I thought you're good. It was a good balanced show.
I mean, I feel like I was just a bit more on point because I had just watched it last night, so like it was fresher in my mind. But you brought great insight, and that's what I love about having you on the shows on Friday nights. Like, I feel like no matter what movie we're talking about, like you can bring whatever you want to the table, and you make it that much more enjoyable.
That's awesome. Thank you for those kind words. By the way, thank you, Andrew. It means a lot to me. I didn't notice this earlier.
That's our buddy Trey being funny.
Trey, that's funny, buddy. I love it. I just saw it now. It's over in chat. That's awesome. Sorry. I have a very dark humor.
Well, if Andrew likes Mike so much, I won't be back on Friday night movie night, everybody. It was nice being part of the show. These two would take it from here. I was just looking. I would look off stream like I did tonight. I had a lot of fun doing that. I could tell these two kind of sort of enjoyed my humor. If not, I apologize.
That was funny. No, I enjoyed it. It was funny.
I thought adding the posters was a good kick.
You could be on movie night when we're doing your parents' home movies.
Might have something for that.
On the show. Awesome. Hook it up. No, actually, put them. You don't comment at all. Just show me and Andrea, and then we'll comment on it.
There you go.
Because I've got to feel if my parents have if they pulled out and embarrassed the hell out of me.
Well, life as Johnny Nass as a kid, I can probably pull something out of my
Hook it up, dude. They can do Young Sheldon and Young Rock.
Yeah, why not Young John?
Young John. Hook it up.
I like Mike's idea. He has to get on something.
I don't know if I could find any of our home videos, but
we wouldn't need copyright permission to own videos.
Well, see, my kid's stuff's on cameras where you can plug it in and use it right, but my shit's on 8mm film. It is.
Oh, yes,
and black and white.
It's in black and white on 8mm film. Yes, that is where my past lies. I'd ask my dad about them videos. He has a Super 8 projector and this film.
I meant to ask you guys, what did you think of the intro I made for you? Did you like it?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic. It was great.
Mike, do you like Lord of the Rings?
I do like Lord of the Rings.
Okay, I'm going to send you a picture. Tell me what you think. But I want to.
Is it worth? I do have to ask you something. Have you watched the 3 Hobbit movies?
Yes.
I have not. Are they worth watching?
The first 1, 2. I wasn't a fan of 3.
The first 2. I'm like, all right. What did you send me?
I want to get that as a tattoo.
Where the heck is it?
It's like, did I send it to the right person?
Did you send it through Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Which feed of mine?
Just Messenger.
Messenger. Oh, there it is.
John, I'll send it to you too.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get that as a tattoo.
Dude, that is fucking awesome.
Isn't that so cool?
Where'd you find? Did you got this through The Hobbit?
I honestly just Googled Lord of the Ring tattoos, and this one was one. Like, there was that one, and then another style that I wasn't too fond of, but that one, oh my gosh.
Minus the movie, I've never seen Lord of the Rings. That's pretty dope.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna log off.
You know what? I'll tell you what I'm gonna get a tattoo of. It's gonna be right on my chest. Okay, right from here to here. It's gonna be the dagger that shows you how to get to the fucking Emperor's world.
I can
Look
see
through
you getting
here.
a Star Wars a lightsaber tattoo.
Lightsaber down the middle, and the blade comes up. I want to get that tattoo though of the dagger that lets you know how the Death Star's lighting thing. Never mind. I'll get a kyber crystal.
There you go. Kyber crystals look cool though.
They do, if done right.
You guys wrapping this up?
Yep, we're done.
All right. Well, we'll see you on Monday night for Sports Gladiators. Andrea's off next Friday unless she wants to hop on one of the shows. She's always more than welcome.
What do you mean you're off next week?
No, I'm saying Andrea's off till Friday because she usually only hops on Friday night. I'll see you next Monday.
Yes, you will.
So till then, thanks for everyone for watching.
Thanks for joining in.
They had 11 reactions on the video. They appreciate all the support. I had fun looking in chat. I might have to do it more often. But till next time, see you next time.